What's up, guys? So I've been rereading book 8 of The Beginner After the End, and so it got to the part where Sylvia is recording her second message and Arthur is listening to it. And so it raised a lot of different questions in my mind, and I got a lot of different thoughts, and I kind of just want to talk about it. I guess one of the first things I'll say really quick is that it's really kind of crazy how fast Sylvia got attached to Art. Like, they was only together for like a couple months, and like she wanted to be looked at as a grandmother, and she said how she was proud of, if he got that far, because she was expecting for him to be past white cord before he was able to listen to the message. And so it's just really kind of crazy to me, like how she got so attached to him so fast and wanted to be Grandma Sylvia. Like, I don't know, it's a little weird. But one of the things that Sylvia mentions in the recorded message was about the atrocities that the Indriff clan has committed, along with Agrona and along with herself. And so I'm really curious, what atrocities did Sylvia commit? I'm really wondering, because based off of the message, it didn't really say that she committed any sort of atrocities, but she had. And so I guess it's going to lead to the next part of some of the questions I have, because she said that she committed atrocities. I'm thinking that she kind of did some shit and we don't know about it. So the Indriff clan killed the ancient mages. They committed a complete genocide. I have a few questions about this, because it don't make any sense at all how the ancient mages were just killed like that. Like, y'all got these powerful abilities. How do y'all just get wiped out? Now, we do know a little bit later that I forget which part it was, but it was when Arthur was getting something else to get more insight, right? And he was wondering, like, how did some powerful ancient mages that they can do all these abilities with ether get killed and wiped out? And he said that they didn't have that information stored. So still gonna be a mystery, still some more world building, some lore that we have to find out about. So that's interesting. But what I'm wondering is, did Sylvia play a part in the ancient mages being destroyed? She said she committed some atrocities. I wonder if that was part of it. Maybe that's the reason why she knows. So I'm wondering if Sylvia was a part of the clans getting annihilated. Was Aldir a part of it? Winsome? I don't know. Now, Winsome seemed like he'd be somebody that would do something like that. Because they said that this happened centuries ago. Right? Hundreds of years ago. Not thousands of years ago, but hundreds of years ago. And we know that the Asuras live for they live for thousands of years. I mean, they live for a really long time. So if the Lessers can live 200 plus years, I'm pretty sure the Asuras can live for thousands of years. But they've been around for a long time. So did they have something to do with it? We don't really know for sure. Now, it was mentioned that we're trying to get like some of the reason why would they do something like this. And from Sylvia's perspective, they said that it was because they were jealous, they were envious of the power that the ancient mages had, and thought that they would challenge their authority as, like, I guess, being gods and all this other stuff. And so I'm just wondering, like, if that's not the definition of like power hungry monsters, then I don't know what is. Because how can you justify killing peaceful people because maybe somehow they might challenge you because they got all these powers and all these abilities? Man, I mean, that's like the lowest of the low, man. And so they just stole their tech, wiped them out, and kept it a secret from the rest of the clans, and then try to learn as much as they could from their technology so that way they can get more and more powerful, because they want to rule Epheotis and be above the Lessers forever, I guess, right? So we learned from Agrona that he wasn't one of the most powerful people of the Basilisk clan, right? But he was very, very curious. He was, he wanted to learn as much as he could about the other lessers and everything. So he was a very curious person. And so he's the one that found out, however he did. He found one of the concealed areas that they have for the ancient mages. And so he wanted to expose him. And so they just exiled this guy. How did all the rest of the clans agree to exile him? Because they created some lie saying that he was fornicating with the other lesser species, which you're not supposed to do, which is a lie. But how did they just do that with no proof? You don't have no proof to prove that he was doing this shit. So it's just like, did he get a day in court? I'm pretty sure they don't have court there, so they just exiled him. They just like, oh, you done. You're going to Alacria. You're out of here. It's pretty crazy. Now, I would probably say that this is one of the more interesting parts, is when Sylvia talks about how her biggest regret is that she allowed her family to destroy Agrona's life, pretty much.
My biggest regret will always be allowing my family to completely destroy the life of my betrothed and my unborn child's father.
So when she says the word allow, that makes me think that she had some power. She had some influence. She could have stopped it, interfered. She could have done something about it, but yet she chose not to. She chose to stay quiet. And that's her biggest regret. And also, she admits that she betrayed Agrona.
But a man driven mad by the betrayal of his clansmen and his love, me.
You know, she considered that she betrayed him. And so I'm just guessing that she could have done something and she chose not to do it, and he hated her for it, you know, because he went mad. He went crazy. You know, and you get, and this is another thing about with the villains, you know, how you know, it's really good what Turtle is doing with, you know, you can develop some sort of empathy for Agrona, because Agrona was just chilling, just, you know, being a researcher, scientist, learning all he can. And then because he found out the truth and because he wanted to be a whistleblower, they completely destroyed his life and refused, didn't allow him to speak the truth and expose what they did, you know, breaking the treaty and, you know, causing a genocide to all these mages. And so he went crazy over it. And so you develop some empathy for him, because it's just like, how would you feel if your whole world was turned upside down, you was kicked out of your state, your country, where you grew up, where you lived, lies was told about you, and then people tried to assassinate you to get you to shut up? Like, I would go crazy and try to get revenge too. Like, fuck yeah, you know. But it's, why didn't Sylvia do more? She loved him. She said that she thought she loved him. She still loved him. It's just that he changed. And this is another bit of proof towards the, you know, there's no such thing as unconditional love. You know, you gotta, she loved him, but it was conditional that he was still gonna be, anyway, this is that's a whole other conversation. But why didn't she do anything? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, did she believe he was lying? Did she not trust him? Did they feed her with a bunch of lies? I don't know. Now, when she found Agrona and he knew she was pregnant and everything, she got imprisoned until she gave birth. We don't know how long it takes for a Saurus to give birth. I mean, it could have been a few months. It could have been, I mean, we know that in Daikathan that it takes 9 months to give birth. So we're sticking with the standard 9 months. But we don't know how long it takes to give birth for the Saurus. It could be 9 months. It could be 18 months. I mean, we don't know. But
of course, I couldn't let my child be subject to his cruel experiments, so I locked her in a pocket dimension that I created within the stone. Though I did not discover the scope of Agrona's plans before my escape.
My question is, she said that she escaped. How did she escape? I mean, she got captured. So obviously he's powerful, and the people that he's following is powerful. You know, we seen what happened with the fight, and she got injured, and you know, Cadell came in and you know did the finishing blow and whatnot. And so, how did she escape? How did she get out? This makes me think about Cypheris. Maybe she had some connection with Sylvia and helped her escape, because she's still a mystery. We don't know why she thinks the way she thinks, how she was raised, who her parents are. You don't just wake up one day and just be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna follow Agrona and I'm gonna do XYZ. She got like plans in place. She's smart. Like, it's maybe Sylvia had some sort of relationship with her and she's the one that helped her escape. You know, maybe she was on guard duty and something like that, and Sylvia started talking to her and then she started getting closer to her. You know, who knows? I'm just kind of making up stuff, but we don't really know. But yeah, so those are all my questions. I'm just wondering, like, I mean, we can go so much further with the history of the ancient mages, and he can make a whole side story about, you know, what they went through. How did they react when they found out that they sent the clan to come and annihilate them? How did they build the relictums? Like, you would think that it would take them an extremely long time to build everything and get everything set up to protect their knowledge. But how did they do it? How did they do it in time? Like, unless they knew about it ahead of time before they were going to come out and kill him, how did they even do it in the first place? You know, when you know that people trying to kill you, how do you even have time to build the relictums? You know, so a lot of questions. He can go into a whole story about that, and so that would be really exciting to read. I definitely would be first in line to read and find out more about it. Like I said, the story is just so, you can go so many different ways with it. You can, it's just so much to learn about, you know. But anyway, that's it for me. I just wanted to make this video just because I was reading it and I was just interested. I had a lot of questions about just the message in general, and I don't know, I just kind of wanted to make the video. So, but that's it for me, and I'll check you guys out Friday when the next chapter comes out. Peace.